morning. How's everybody today? We are going to have our welcome song played through the speakers, but the music is going to be on the words. So let's just fake it till we make it. Yes, if you're up to it, stand and clap your hands.
Something great is happening. Love has taken hold and it won't let it go of us now.
Something here is calling us forward, upward motion. With drops in one ocean, roll on.
Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now.
Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Yeah.
Paint with every vision, dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind.
I will rise up with you today.
Lift up my voice.
Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Yeah. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world. Stand together. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world. Stand together. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Yeah, yeah. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Stand together.
Live the dream.
A new day dawning.
Be the hope.
Share your
Let's
gifts.
stand together now.
Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Stand together.
Live the dream. Be the hope.
That was really good. Thanks, everybody. Good morning. Thank you. I'm Mandy Russell, a member of Unity for 22 years. This Unity. Welcome to Unity of the Hill Country, where we offer a positive path for spiritual living. The Daily Word has been giving the worldwide Unity movement a daily prayer since July 1924. Today's reader is me, and the word for today is prosperity. The affirmation is, I live an abundant life. Let's say that together. I live an abundant life. It's often has been said, you can't take it with you. While it is true that money and material possessions must be left behind when I transition from this life, these things are not the source of my prosperity. My true wealth lies in my consciousness, my ability to give and receive love, to share what I have and receive from others with equal joy, to understand and use the creative power of thought, and to know myself and all people as living expressions of the divine. I live consciously and abundantly, making wise use of the earth's resources and drawing upon the limitless storehouse of divine ideas. Through the power of God within me, I enrich my life, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. In Scripture it is written, Matthew 6:20, "But store up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal." Let's say the affirmation again. I live an abundant life. The Unity movement started in 1889 with answered prayer. Myrtle Fillmore was healed of tuberculosis. We'll be honored to pray with you. You can request prayer at b.unity.org. You can also place a request in our lobby prayer box or online at unityhillcountry.org and click on the ministry tab. There are little prayer cards in the back of every seat with pins so that you can fill that out and put it in the prayer box. Okay. Please take a moment now to silence your phones so they don't disturb our gathering. Please join me in affirming our mission and vision statements. To live consciously, celebrating the divine potential in all. And the Unity Statement of Faith. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, the omnipotent. We have a guest speaker today. Her name is Jeanie Brosius King, Reverend, I'm so sorry. And she served as the senior minister for 8 years at Unity of Richardson, Texas. She's a well-known Unity speaker and seminar leader, life coach, author, host of Coffee Chat podcast for the Beautiful Network of Women. She does offer retreats. She is having one on September 19th through 22nd, 2024. If you see me after the service, I'll make sure you get the link to that. Okay. Just because it bears saying, Jeanie also teaches classes, Too Much Stuff, Clutter Clearing.
I know nobody needs
No. Clutter Clearing for Churches, The Money Game, Creating Your Vision, and a 12-week The Artist's Way to Excavate Your Personal Creativity. Okay. Jeanie and her husband, Dr. Joe King, live in Junction, Texas, where Joe has a veterinary clinic and kennel, and they renovated their former winery and bistro as their home and now live in downtown Junction with their 2 dogs. Welcome, Jeanie. What more could you ask for? Okay. Are we going to do another sing-along? Okay, I'm going to turn off my mic and get Reverend Jeanie up here.
Oh, oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. And all this love inside, we can let it shine. Oh, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening today. Right here, right now. Aye, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me. It's gonna happen to me. It's happening to me. Something wonderful, something happening to me. Can you feel it right now? Right here, right now. Something wonderful.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We can go home now. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for answering the call of your heart to bring your life essence here. And to all the people who are watching online, thank you for sharing with us today. As Mandy said, I'm Jeanie King, and boy, have I got a message for you today. Whoop. It's called Trading Your Wishbone for a Backbone. And all the times that Jesus got mad to get what he wanted. Now, we've never heard that, or very, it's like, oh, we all should be such sweet and light. But I don't know about you, but that's not really me. So I am delighted to talk with you about ways that we can align ourselves with our true essence and energy. Let me ask you a question. I was talking to Mandy about vision boards, but how many people here have ever done a vision board? Okay, yeah, I used to teach them. And they're good and they're fine, because what you do is you figure out what you want, you pick out pictures and words and things that symbolize that, and you focus on it. But how many people here have ever gotten everything that they want on their vision board? Me neither. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, because our belief system has everything to do with this. Now, let me ask you another question. Has anyone here ever found it hard to say no to somebody? That's what I thought. We'll talk about that. And how many people besides me have ever had to choke down their frustration and anger at others? Or am I the only one? Oh, I'm with my friends, I can tell. Now, here's the thing. We have been trained not to expect too much. Get your head out of the clouds. That's never going to happen. And especially when we do like a vision board and we get all excited about it, and then we share it with somebody else and they're not excited about it and they're asking us about it, kind of just, takes all the wind out of our sails. So what we do is we end up wishing, hoping, and praying, but we're really not dedicated that much to what it is that we say we want, unless we just go for it anyhow. And when I look at the things that I have wanted in my life, beyond everything, they've always happened. Things that I'm kind of on the fence about, I want to tell you that our thoughts and words and feelings are like writing on this big whiteboard. And we write down the things that we want, and we get all excited about it. And, if it's something good, it's like, oh, wow, yeah, and I love this, and I'm drawing in that new car, and I can feel the wind in my hair, and that new car smell, and I can see pulling up in front of my friend's house looking all cute. And we leave it up there, and the mind of God says, look at what Jeannie's thinking about. Let's give her more of that. But if I'm all worked up and wound around the axle about something, and these people and this economy and and people are yucky and all that, or I don't have enough and what am I going to do? And we write that down on the whiteboard. And the mind of God says, look at what Jeannie's thinking. Let's give her more of that. Because we're putting in our order, right? It's not reward and it's not punishment. We are co-creators with God. So I want to talk about saying no for a minute. There are many reasons why we don't like to say no. The major one is that we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And we want people to like us, right? We do. And so many times we just go along to get along, and we're always miserable when we do because we're not living our truth. And we just kind of have to, stop ourselves from saying what it is that we really want. Life is funny. Now, you people don't know me here, but last year, life threw me a big old curveball in that I had to have emergency surgery for diverticulitis. And I had 4 big abscesses on my intestines. I was over here at Peterson. Let me tell you something. My son, who is married to an emergency room nurse in Houston, he said, if anything ever goes wrong and I can make it, I'm coming to Peterson. They were so great. But I had 4 big abscesses on my intestines, and doctors and nurses later said, you know that many people who have 1 abscess often die. And I said, well, I didn't know that, and I'm not dying. Okay, so just get that out of your mind. But they took out my right fallopian, my right ovary, they took out 8 inches of my sigmoid colon, and just for the heck of it, they took out my appendix. And I woke up with an ostomy bag that I had 7 months until reattachment, a wound vac, and I was one sick little girl. But my doctor came to me and he said, you know what, Jeanie, I opened you up and I looked down there and you were such a mess, I almost just sewed you right back up again. I went, thank you for not doing. I must have thanked him 100 times now. And everything has been great. But it was a heck of a year. I didn't get to do anything. I didn't get to speak anywhere. We couldn't have any of our women's retreats because I was just too sick. But here's the good thing. I sat on my couch and I prayed and I meditated and I slept. I was doing competitive napping and I won. So my husband and all of my friends were wonderful. But one of the things that happened to me in Junction when I went there, they put an NG tube down my nose. Has anyone ever had one of those? I feel sorry for you. Let me tell you something. Those are so miserable. They go down into your stomach. They hurt like the dickens, and they're just miserable. Well, when I went into the hospital 3 other times, they put it in. And the last 2 times, it just fell out on its own. I swear. And my doctor said, are you taking that out? And I went, no, I swear to God, I'm not. I said, it's just jumping out. And he said, well, we're going to have to put it back in. And I looked at him and I said, nope. And he said, what do you mean, nope? And I said, it's just too painful. I'm not going through that again. But if you have to, you can do it. But you have to sedate me. He said, we've never sedated anyone for it. And I said, you will now. And guess what? They didn't have to do it because I told my body, you better get back online here and get with it. And I started healing very, very quickly. Because I got angry and I drew the line in the sand and I said, you're not doing this to me. It's my body. And I appreciate you. But I think we can heal. And I did. So here's the thing. Jesus is always held up as the divine example of love and compassion and forgiveness and understanding. But he got angry several times just to get the results he wanted. And I want to talk to you about several of them. One is prioritizing religious dogma and ritual over human need. So there is a story about Jesus, and he goes into the temple, and it's on the Sabbath, and people are in there worshiping, and there's a man there, and he has a shriveled hand, and there's some data that say that he had been a stonemason and he had crushed his hand in a vocational accident. Well, now, they didn't have workers' comp back then, and he couldn't work. And so Jesus looked at him, and the Pharisees, they were just in a corner. They were giddy. They couldn't wait because they knew what Jesus was about. They couldn't wait for him to break the rules of the Sabbath and heal someone. So Jesus straight up asked them in Mark 3:4, Which is lawful on the Sabbath, to do good or to do evil? To save a life or to kill a life? Now the answer is obvious, but you know what they said? They didn't say anything. And that triggered Jesus, because he knew that they knew, but they were just going to hold him to this religious ritual and dogma. Now the word in this passage is from the Greek, and it indicates not only anger, but lamentations. It said he was bitter to tears at their lack of loving for a human being, all the while claiming to worship God in the synagogue. And he stared them down, and he defiantly declared that this man was healed, and he was. And nobody dared say a word after that. The next time is, he said, let the little children come unto me. So Jesus was out teaching and preaching one day, lots of people around, and parents, they had their children. Everyone wanted to get close to Jesus, and the parents especially wanted the children to get a blessing. But, you know, the disciples were very dedicated to, you know, keeping the crowds away, so they're like, and so they're pushing the parents and the children away, and all of a sudden, Jesus noticed it. And when he saw what was happening, the word that is in the Greek says that he was indignant. And the Greek word actually goes beyond that. It means to shudder and to quiver. He was so mad. Have you ever seen a guy in a bar that was so mad that he was quivering and shuddering? Don't mess with that dude, because he is mad. And so it's fighting mad. And so what was Jesus' problem? And he said, let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Truly, I tell you, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it. And he took the children in his arms, and he placed his hands on them, and he blessed them. That was in Mark chapter 10, verse 14. Now, what made Jesus shudder so much was the idea that the little ones who had the most faith would be treated like second-class citizens in the kingdom of God, and that was unacceptable. Now, this is a well-worn story about the cleansing of the temple. I love this one. Jesus enters the temple, and he sees the merchants profiteering off of all of the pilgrims. Now, it isn't that people had just set up tables and stuff, but it was beyond that. And the Bible doesn't actually say that Jesus was mad, but we can assume that he was, because he took some cords and made them into a whip, and he started whipping these people and turning over their tables. And so I'm assuming he was not happy. And it happened twice, once at the beginning of his ministry and once the Monday of his last week on earth. And the first time was in John 2, and on Monday of the last week was actually told about in 3 different books, Matthew 21, Mark 11, and Luke 21. Now, he showed his cards when he quoted the scripture. He said, my house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it into a den of robbers. And he said that, and he was quoting actually from 2 Old Testament passages, Isaiah 56:7 and Jeremiah 7:11. Now, if you look into the context of each of those passages, it was all about going up against the establishment of the religious class. Okay? And here was the real problem, that they had their tables set up outside in the courtyard where the Gentiles were there. But the Gentiles weren't good enough to come in and learn about God. And they were just taking their money. And Jesus said, that doesn't fly. He said, if they are not allowed to come know about God and know about me, you are not going to be able to take their money. And that's what set Jesus off. There are some other things that made him mad. Sickness and death. There is a form of the word anger to describe Jesus in one of these, and it says that a leper ran up to Jesus begging for a healing, and Jesus was, it said, indignant. But in this instance, he was not mad at the leper. He stretched out his hand and he healed the leper. He was indignant at sickness because he knew the truth of us as being divine beings. And he knew that we had the power within ourselves to heal ourselves. You see, Jesus cared more about the people than he did about sickness and death and woe be unto anyone or anything that gets in the way. He was mad about the standing over a dear friend's grave. It said that he was deeply moved, and there is in that Greek word, there is an indication of anger, and that was in John 11:3. And what was Jesus mad about there? Death itself, because we have eternal life, and we're all angry. And you mentioned that we're going to, in the daily word, that we're going to drop what we have here on earth, but we are eternal beings. And Jesus wanted people to know that. So how does this relate to you and me in our lives today? How many here have been told, nobody likes an angry person? Get that look off your face. It's going to freeze like that. How about this? You want something to cry about? I'll give you something to cry about. Has anyone ever heard that one? About 400 times? Yeah. And as we get older, we are told in many ways, get your head out of the clouds. You can't have what you want. You know, I don't know what you're thinking about. And you just can't always get what you want. But the Rolling Stones said you always get what you need. So I'm with them on this one. Jesus said it this way, whatsoever things you ask, believing will be done unto you. How many times do we revert to our old patterns of belief that, you know, something good happens, it's like, oh, I just can't believe it. Oh, I don't deserve that. I shouldn't have that. And we send out on that whiteboard, more of this, please. And the universal mind of God says, okay, you got it. You know, we're co-creating with God. Now, I want to talk about God, Father, Mother, God, as a parent with us. And you, those of us who are parents of children, know that there is nothing we wouldn't do for that child. Even mothers of serial killers love their serial killer sons and daughters. I'm serious. They may not love what they're doing, but they love them. And if you have fur babies, there's nothing too good for those fur babies, right? I mean, we see it all the time in the veterinary clinic. You know, people will go without food. I mean, we don't know that they're going without food, but they'll make sure that those babies are taken care of. So I want to read you something. Matthew 7, verses 9 through 11 says this, which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you, then, though you are evil, in other words, not spiritually enlightened enough to really know the truth of this, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? Again, I want to encourage you, think only about what you want to bring into your life, because that's what you believe. Use every tool available. I'm doing an online book study right now on Ask and It Is Given, and it's the book by Abraham Hicks. And they give an emotional scale. It's about 20 emotions, and at the very bottom is apathy and depression, and it is inert. And then you slowly creep up, and at the very top is ecstasy. And they say that you cannot go from apathy and depression to ecstasy in one leap. And you can't go the other way either. It just doesn't work that way. But they said the biggest leap that you can make from apathy and depression is anger. Why? Because it is alive and it is active. Now, I tell my coaching clients to use anger, but it's like the space shuttle trying to get beyond the gravitational pull of the Earth. You want to put this booster rocket on the space shuttle and get it out beyond the stratosphere. But once you're out there, you got to jettison the rocket, or else it'll pull you off course. So once you have used that anger to get past your depression and your apathy, you got to let it go. recently I watched a small clip of Jim Carrey, the actor, Dumb and Dumber, and all those. And he talked about his many bouts with depression. And he said, this led me to God. And he also said the antidote for depression is actually in the word depressed. Depressed. He said, you can take it and say, the antidote is deep rest. Depressed. Deep rest. So if you are hiding down in the depths of despair, first of all, I would urge you, get some rest. Calm your mind down. Go within. See what is true. Make connection with your God self. It's not only okay to use anger, but it is more important to decide what it is that you will or will not do. I want you to stop wishing, hoping, and praying, and start believing that all good things are yours. In Mark 11:24, it says, whatsoever things you ask, whatsoever, believing, will be done unto you. So what is it that you really believe? And I'm serious about that. What do you believe? And we drag a bunch of stuff around with us, from our childhood and from people in our community, and God forbid if you're on social media, right? But what we focus on is what we are asking for. I have an online money game where we use affirmations. And Unity, of course, is very big on affirmations. And some of our members, they're wanting to improve their money situation and their finances. And they start out by saying, I've got $1 million. They don't even know what to do with 100,000. Okay, so, I'm not being ugly. I'm just saying, or I'm so happy that I now have $1 million. But here's the problem. They don't really believe it, because the underlying current is, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay my car payment? I'm going to have to buy. Have you seen the price of groceries lately? Oh, this economy, and it's, and that's what they believe. So I'm going to give you a wonderful affirmation hack. Would you like that?
Yes.
What we do is we take some true statements that are true affirmative statements, and then and we say those out loud, and at the end of that, we hook the statement that we wish to be true in the end. So it's going to go something like this. My name is Jeanie King. I live with my husband, Joe, in Junction, Texas, with our 2 dogs. We live in our renovated winery right downtown, and I am so happy that $1 million is flowing to me now. Now, what this does is it softens the target, because your little subconscious mind is going, that's true, that's true, that's true, that's true, that's true. And it gives our minds an ability to say, I am speaking the truth. So use that as you wish. I'm going to leave you with this powerful little verse. It's one of my favorite little verses in the Bible. It's very short, and it is James 4:2, and it says, you have not because you ask not. Are we afraid to ask? Yeah. Oh yeah, we are. Especially those of us who had like really stern parents and stuff. I've heard about people like you. I've heard about people like me. But you have not because you ask not. And I have this song that's been running through my mind for a couple of weeks, we're best friends. And I keep going, well, who the heck is this? And I went, well, who do I want it to be? And I went, oh, I want it to be Jesus. Jesus is my best friend. So I've just started asking Jesus outright. Jesus, here's what I would like for you to do. Now I'm going to tell you something. You heard my story about going in the hospital and being out of commission for a year and my healing. And so I really have not been strong enough and we are doing a women's retreat, and I'm really, really, really doing well. But I haven't been able to work. I haven't been able to do anything. And I've been working with a business coach in the UK, and her whole thing is make up your 15-minute signature speech, and I'll get you in the press, and I'll get you in front of big groups of people. And I'm like, I live in Junction, Texas. I don't want to have to drive, to Houston, Dallas, wherever the heck it is. I just don't want to have to do that. So one of the things that Abraham Hicks says to very easily create is to use the very soft phrase that says, wouldn't it be nice if? Wouldn't it be nice if? Whatever it is. So 2 Fridays ago, I was in the car with my husband. We were coming back from San Antonio, and I had this thought, wouldn't it be nice if I was able to speak more often in front of people and bring my messages and do my classes? Yeah, that'd be nice. That was Friday. Saturday morning, I opened my email, and Glorious Brad here had sent out an email to me and some other people saying, we're looking for interim speakers. I went, you rock, Jesus. You really do. Wouldn't that be nice? That was so easy. So, just use that phrase. Whatever it is you're looking for, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if I had someone to love me? Wouldn't it be nice if I could go on that vacation? Wouldn't it be nice? Whatever it is. Wouldn't it be nice? Make it easy, okay? And know that you are writing it down on your whiteboard. And the universal mind of God said, yeah, let's give her that. Let's give him that. More of that. I thank you for being here. I bless you. I love you. And I behold the Christ in you. Thank you. Yeah. It's Jean. I'll give it to you. Jeanie. Okay, here it is. Jeanie. Just one N. People like to give me 2, which is abundance, but it won't get there. Okay. Jeanie 0318. That's my birthday, March 18th. I share the birthday with Edgar Casey and Queen Latifah. I think I'm their love child. Okay. At gmail.com. Thank you.
That was outstanding.
Thank
you for saying, wouldn't it be nice?
Wouldn't it be nice?
I'm going to tell y'all, I know this is terrible of me to jump in. I'm going to tell you a story. We had a workshop here, and we were encouraged to, write down things that we wanted. And everybody was like, I'd like to get some land, and, on the river and all that. Oh, Mandy had to be Mandy. So I said, I want a bigger place to live so that my dogs can stretch out a little bit. We lived in a small place. Well, I want you to know that I got home that afternoon. My landlord had been over there. She saw that we had a new dog, and she called me and said, I'm giving you 30 days. You have to leave this apartment.
I love it.
And it was a miracle because we had 2 cats and 2 dogs. Do you know how hard it is to rent anything with that? But I went over to my good friend Donna Robinson's house and looked in her paper, and there was an ad, and it just so happened this woman worked in the rescue community, and they let us move in to a 900 square duplex with the 4 animals. So
wouldn't it be nice?
Wouldn't it be nice? Mm-hmm. But I tell you, that cured me of like being too. So anyway, sorry guys.
Thank you.
Okay, if this is your first time at Unity, we're glad you're here. We hope that you're finding a place of like-minded people and a place to belong. We teach spiritual tools that can help you no matter what is going on in your life. If you're interested in a welcome packet, an usher can bring you one, or you can grab one on your way out. Please fill out the contact form if you wish to be a part of our weekly email newsletter. We now have an opportunity to support our spiritual cooperative. If you would like to donate by credit card, go to our website, unityhillcountry.org, and click on the donate button or scan the QR code on your handouts. Please consider setting up an automatic monthly contribution. If you would prefer to mail us checks, please mail them to 1016 Jefferson Street, Kerrville, Texas, 78028, and we thank you in advance for your generosity. Let's bless what we are giving now and join me in our offering affirmation together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all I receive. And I send it forth with my blessings and my love. Okay, I maybe can do it. We're going to sing Freely, Freely. Freely, freely I have received. Freely, freely I give. Divine love through me blesses all that I am, all that I give and receive. Y'all did great. Yeah. Okay. We open our hearts in gratitude as we release these donations. We send these gifts forward through our congregation and into our world, blessing all that it affects. Okay. Community announcement. The Blood Mobile is here until 4 p.m. today if you'd like to donate blood. The Crones of Kerrville Women's Group topic for Tuesday will be setting intentions. That's 11 to 1 p.m. on Tuesday the 13th. The Ladies' Clothing Exchange will be Saturday, August 24th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we really encourage you to come even if you didn't bring clothes because we will have a lot. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to say something. The Crones of Kerrville, we've been going on since April, so it's been over a year. And this Tuesday, it's setting our intentions. Specifically, we want to look at where we're going to go. Do we still want to meet on Tuesdays? Do you want to start a service project, so on and so forth. So please come, anybody that can. It's every second Tuesday
Okay.
of the month from 11 to 1. Yes, second Tuesday.
All right.
That's correct. So anyway, that's this Tuesday. And then on the 24th is our annual Ladies Clothing Exchange. And the morning part is, in case you've not been to one before, it's great fun. You bring a couple of pieces of clothing and you get to take home a couple of pieces of clothing. And there's jewelries and shoes. This year we're opening up for men's clothes as well.
Oh.
So if you want to get rid of that ugly shirt for your husband, I'm kidding. Anyway, it's so the first part of the morning is, it says members in this, but it's for congregants. If you come to Unity, you can come for the exchange. In the past, we've asked for donations, and we've been able to raise, which we don't own a mortgage anymore, but we've been able to raise the month's payment for that month. And then the second part of the afternoon, we're opening it up to the public for sale, and we'll have prices. So if you have friends that need some new clothes, and there's going to be jewelry and shoes and everything, and we'll have a price set and everything. So anyway, y'all come. All right, thanks a lot.
Excellent.
I forgot to do the meditation. I would rather ask for forgiveness than permission. But is it okay if I do a short meditation? Is that okay with y'all? Okay.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
In light of that, any and all volunteers that Thursday and Friday, I'll be here in the afternoon taking donations, and we need clothing racks, a couple of ladders for the dowel between it works, and then we just take down tables and fold stuff up. So if you have anything to donate, and plastic bags.
Sounds
Okay.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, why not have a meditation right now? All right, just make yourself comfortable. If you would, put both feet on the floor. Take anything out of your lap except your hands. Just be fully present. Make sure that you are supported by the chair that you're sitting in. And if it feels good, just close your eyes. And let's take in a couple of deep breaths. Just breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in again. And breathe out. I want you to recognize that the very air in this room is charged with God energy. It sparkles, it is alive, and it is filled with our intentions. I want you to think about that. Breathe in and breathe out. Now we're going to breathe in a couple of words. I want you to breathe in, God is. Breathe in, God is. And breathe out, I am. Breathe in, God is. And breathe out, I am. And one more time. Breathe in, God is. And breathe out, I am. Now in this moment, let's radiate this love and this energy out into this whole neighborhood here in Kerrville. Just radiate out. And I want you to radiate out into all of Kerrville, over to the hospitals, over to where homeless people are, over into houses where people are filled with despair, jails, other places, hotels where people are sitting there lonely. I want you to radiate that out. May their lives be touched with a little spark of hope and joy and understanding. Now let's just send this all out throughout the state of Texas. Just push it out. We ask God to just send this out from us. We ask that we make a difference and be a difference. And let's send this out across the United States and across the world. We are all one. We are all one. Always loving God, we give thanks that you have heard us, because we ask believing that we are the vessels of your love, your healing, your understanding, and your creativity. And we are grateful. Take in another deep breath. Let it go. And just bring yourself back into this room. Thank you. That was good. Thank you.
Okay. So on the clothing exchange, as she said, we are taking donations on Thursday the 22nd and the Friday the 23rd. You know, we did not do our celebration Sunday. Was last week Celebration Sunday? Would you guys like to tell us something that you have? I'll start. I'm married 35 years on the 22nd.
Wow.
Never thought I'd see that day. Okay. Faith? Oh, you don't want to? Nobody else? Okay. What's the cat's name? Okay. Noogie, like that. Okay. So, Doogie Howser? No, Noogie, like. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we will absolutely do that. Noogie is going to feel so good. Okay, and I've been told that, oh, I'm so sorry. Amy. Good. Yes. I'm sorry, anybody else? Yes, Brad. Ooh, yeah. Maybe I'm going to actually make it up there before they end. And you, young sir? Yay! Now that's good. You don't have to be scared of that dog or feel bad because, like, why don't you like me? Anybody else? Okay, I have been told that our board president is going to do a presentation. Yes, after the peace song, and it will not be on air. So please stay after the peace song for that report. And so please take your bulletin and check the lobby information tables for upcoming activities. We've reached the end of our gathering, so please rise, circle up, join hands, and we'll do the peace song and our prayer for protection.
We can do it. Nice, robust group here.
Yes, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
So it's da 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 da.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. Thank you, Faye.
Come back.
I will.
Yes.
Whoops. I think I'm on air.